Dear students, welcome to my English class. Today I am going to discuss a poem from class 9. The name of the poem is Hunting Snake by Judith Wright. A short biographical sketch of the poet Judith Arundel Wright, born in the year 1915 and died in the year 2000, was an Australian poet, environmentalist, and campaigner for Aboriginal land rights. She believed that the poet should be concerned with national and social problems. At the age of 85, just before her death, she attended in Canberra at a march for reconciliation with Aboriginal people. Judith Arundel Wright was born near Armidale, New South Wales, into an old and wealthy pastoral family. Wright was raised on her family's sheep station. After her mother died in 1927, she was educated under her grandmother's supervision. At the age of 14, she was sent to New England Girls' School, where she found consolation from poetry and decided to become a poet. Wright's poetry was inspired by the various regions in which she lived: the New England, New South Wales, the subtropical rainforests of Tamborine Mountain, Queensland, and the plains of the Southern Highlands near Braidwood. Wright received several awards, including Grace Levin Prize 1950, Australia Britannica Award 1964, Robert Frost Memorial Award 1977, Australian World Prize 1984, Queen's Medal for Poetry 1992. She had honorary degrees from several universities. In 1973 to 74, she was a member of Australia Council. Now about the poem Hunting Snake. Read the poem carefully, line by line. It is the original poem, Hunting Snake. The picture demonstrates the snake. About the poem describes the poet's experience of watching a black snake as it makes its way across an area of grassland. The poet looks on, fascinated, as the snake hunts for food and finally disappears. Hunting Snake is a poem about two people witnessing a wild snake in pursuit of its prey. The event is over in a short time, yet their reaction to the snake's presence seems to be profound. Their day is altered, their breath is affected. This phenomenon of meeting a snake about its daily business and being in awe is not unique to the continent of Australia, where this poem is set. Word nest. Have a quick look into the critical words. Reeling means moving in curves. Flickering means sudden forward and backward movement. Trail means path. Quested means searched. Intent means aim. Grace means beauty or favor. Glazed means shone brightly. Fierce means cruel, ferocious or violent. Splendid means superb or wonderful. Fray means hunt or game. Froze means became motionless. Summary and theme of the poem. The poet and her companion were walking on a pleasant autumn day when they see a black snake that speeds past, intent on catching its prey. The rest of the poem concentrates on the reactions of the poet and her companion as they stood still, taken aback by the sudden appearance of the snake in the grass. The snake slithers away. The major theme that is addressed in this powerful poem is the conflict between man and nature, and the way that even today, in our technological age, nature is, in some cases, still dangerous enough to represent a real threat to mankind. This is shown through the snake that the walkers, the we in the poem, come across The snake is described in such a way as to highlight both its beauty but also its killer instinct and the massive threat that it represents to humans. This is a picture's illustration. The poetess and her companion saw the black snake and froze half through in space. We walked and froze half through a pace. The great black snake went reeling by. Explanation, stanza by stanza. Stanza 1. The first three lines flow rather innocently with the help of enjambment, lines running into the next without pause. There is an air of tranquility. The tone is light and warm. Note the sibilance in that first line. Sun-warmed season's grace, already a pre-hint of a snake appearing. And what about that word grace related to the Christian religion, a nod to the Garden of Eden and the first man and woman. The third line is paused a little in by a comma, which makes the reader pause to as the working couple are stopped in their tracks. So gone is the safe, cozy feeling with cozy language, sun-warmed, grace, gentlest, and in its place is coldness with that word froze. The change has started, and the fourth line reveals just why. The previous strongly iambic lines are broken by a three-stressed. The great black snake came reeling by. That second foot is a spondy double stress, a bit of a shock to the iambic system. The word reeling can mean to be shocked, to lose balance, to be put out of synchronize. So it seems the speaker thinks the snake is not really in full control of its body. It is on a lurching mission. Stanza 2. Enjambment again takes the end of the first stanza straight into the second. So no real pause at all for the reader as the snake shoots past with its tongue flickering. That is, the snake is testing the ear, smelling the praise scent. The language reflects the mission and the speaker impression. With head down, he quested that word is often associated with medieval knights and chivalry and heroics. Could it be the snake is seen as noble? And note the emphasis now on gender. The snake is a male. There is no reason given, and we are not told that the couple are female, so the reader remains in the dark. Yet more language to reinforce the idea that the speaker is in awe of this snake, his curves of diamond scale. This is almost a fashion statement. Diamonds are the hardest, the most expensive stone on earth, and here they are on the armor of a snake. So affected are the couple, they lost breath, and with it perhaps a degree of innocence. Stanza 3 and 4. A more reflective stanza, the speaker thinking about the prey, the small food, oddly enough described. Perhaps there was no time to rationalize the situation. The snake must have flashed by in such a hurry, yet such a sight it was. The two witnesses could not take their eyes off him. Stanza 4, the speaker describes the snake as cold and dark and splendid as he disappears into the undergrowth, think underworld. The couple have been in some sort of trance, time and space suspended, their breaths taken away, so they have to breathe in that much deeper to compensate. And that final look into each other's eyes must be significant. What had changed? What state are they now in? Has the snake's presence made them reflect on the raw power of nature? The idea that a predator chasing a smaller animal in a life or death situation is just an everyday occurrence in nature. They have to be about their business, but the short encounter with the cold, dark, black, fierce, reeling, curvy, questing, diamond-scaled snake is likely to be with them for a long time. Some poetic devices are used in this poem like alliteration, assonance, caesura, enjambment, and eternal rhyme. The examples are given on the screen. Critical appreciation. Judith Wright creates a tone of awe in regard to nature's power as revealed through the poet's strong use of imagery and diction in The Hunting Snake. The poem focuses on a brief moment when the snake crosses the speaker's path. The poet uses imagery with the phrase "great black snake went reeling by." The reader latches onto the strong contrasting details of great black snake, which stand in opposition to the previous imagery of autumn's gentle sky. The diction of a verb choice in went reeling suggests a forceful movement and sense of urgency. The poet portrays the hunting snake as a vibrant living creature, using imagery which the poet consistently reinforces in the later stanzas through detail and imagery like diamond scale and cold, dark, and splendid. Wright's poem portrays the snake in a positive light, emphasizing its beauty and powerful lithe form. Through Wright's appreciative portrayal of the snake, the purpose of the portrayal is so the reader can conclude that the speaker embraces nature and the natural world, viewing the many different forms of life as beautiful and worthy of respect. Note the references to the way the sun glazed his curves of diamond scale. So impressive is the snake, in fact, that the narrator reports the group of workers lost breath to see him, both through wonder but also through fear because of the danger he represents. The snake is later described as cold, dark, and splendid, and it seems clear from this that the emotions the snake creates in the watchers are thus based both on admiration and danger. In fact, so fearful are the human observers that after the snake vanishes, they took a deeper breath of day and carried on their work. The theme of this poem is thus based on man's vulnerability to nature and the way that creatures such as snakes represent danger that it is important to be respectful and mindful of. The title, Hunting Snake, highlights both the danger of the snake as it was questing through the grass, but also perhaps the need that humans have to hunt out such experiences in order to remind them of the healthy respect they need to have for nature and the natural world. Now read the poem again and try to comprehend the meanings and the inner meaning embedded in it, and try to solve the assignment given here. How did the snake appear as it was moving through the grass? What did the poet and her companions do when the snake was gone? What did the snake search in the grass? What was the effect of the sunlight on the snake's body? Describe the snake and its movement. Why did the poet and her companion take deeper breath? Like these. Thank you. All the best. Please subscribe the channel for regular support and updates.